I swear to God, dude, I fucking was about to. I started to make a new intro today just to get that fucking Nick Chubb thing out of here, and I just didn't have time to do it. So I've still got to listen to R.I.P. Jim Donovan call the Nick Chubb the Chubba Lubba Hub. Just fucking kills me. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. How we doing? Hope you guys are having a good one. It's a hot one here in St. Louis today. Is it a hot one there in Canada?
We are getting we're going to be getting poured on for the next 4 days here.
Poured on. You guys are getting rained on.
Yeah, we're supposed to get like 3 to 4 inches of rain over the next
Jesus
3 days.
fucking
Yeah.
Christ, dude.
So we are it wasn't too bad today, but it looks like it could be bad. So yay.
Hey, well, we're here, baby. At least you're not in a fucking community center, right? At least we're not
Yes.
shooting from a community center this time. So all is well. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday wherever you are. We got a lot we're going to talk about today. Well, actually, we got four main topics we're going to talk about today. We got front office coming back today, which is good. About a half hour, we're going to see the front office. We had a third guy here. I guess he dropped the fuck off before. I guess I don't know, but Mabel Towns was here. Shout out to him. But yeah, dude, we're gonna talk about some DeMarcus Cousins, man, dropping nuts in Puerto Rico. That's my favorite thing we're gonna talk about today. Can't wait to get to that. We got Shemar Stewart. That should be good. Leaving the Bengals. Pretty interesting story going on with that. And there's some pretty wild thing. Like there's some loopholes in there that we're gonna talk about. So Shemar Stewart, maybe a Bengal. We'll see. We got the Pacers obviously going up 2-1, and then we got some Shedeur Sanders. We're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders shining right now, but not getting any love on the 11-on-11, doing a lot of 7-on-7s. We're seeing a lot of Dylan Gabriel, which I guess you assumed, right, being taken in the third round. So we'll get into that. Like I said, no bets today. I went to pick the bet, put the bets into the show today, boys. We don't have any. So
I took a day off. I was gonna bet the Oilers, but I wasn't forcing any baseball because baseball has been because Nick we had a little séance that I am not allowed to bet the Sacramento Athletics until
did
next
you
year.
want to bet them today? Do they play?
No, they were off today, and literally
So
he said you can't.
you were just like, oh, they're off today. I just won't bet. If I can't bet them, I won't bet anything.
The best is Nick is like, you have to tell me you're not going to bet the Sacramento A's. And I
Yeah.
said, let's see who they play this weekend. That was my exact response. Like, oh, they're in Kansas City. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I mean,
I will not bet the Sacramento A's for 3 whole days.
yeah, which is good. Good for your health, good for your pockets. But no bets today. So we're gonna take the day off. So if you're looking for the bets scrolling around the bottom, you're not going to see them. But we'll get back on the horse tomorrow. Like I said, everybody needs their day off. But anyway, like I said, front office here in about 30 minutes. And he will his graceful return, dude. Can't wait. Don't even remember what he sounds like. So it should be good for all of us. We won't see him, of course. Just hear him. So
Maybe he's got
all
booked
right,
up
all
on
right, all right.
Madison
Well,
on
before we
that.
get anything, how was the day? How was your day? How are you?
Good. I got the haircut, so you get the rare
Me too, dude.
non thing. I just also decided to slam my finger in my car door. So
Hell yeah.
my
We're
ring
rocking the
finger.
Rockies jersey today because if you guys hadn't seen, if you guys haven't read the news, first walk off of the year, dude. Tanner Suckett. I don't know if you're in the chat. Let's see. There he is. So why do good girls like bad guys? I have this question for a real long time. What up, OG? I like what you did with the episode announcement. Intro like that would be dope as fuck. I'll pop in once in a while. Want y'all into the episode? Yes, sir. I like what you did for an episode announcement. Yeah, so I'm gonna play around with it. So, but yeah, those little videos and stuff definitely gonna be those. Shout out to my boys over at Drew Code Sports. My boy Drew or Cody is the way I talk to. I think it's Drew Code. I think that's what they call it, but it's Drew and Cody. But they've got this cool thing going on right now. Which, if you guys haven't already, man, if you guys are AFC West guys, well, if you're sports guys in general, go over there and follow Drew Code Sports. Great guys. Talk to Cody all the time, but they've got this little crew they're running with now, right? These guys maybe they think they've known for a while, but Answer the Call is one. It's this other like a Broncos guy. But there's like this show Vic Sports, I think is what is one of them. But they're like this group that they're like, they realize that Drew Code. So Cody's a Raiders guy, he's a lifelong Raiders fan. Um, and I guess they found somebody. So their thing is they're called the AFC West War Room, and
Nice.
it's just exclusive AFC West talk. They're doing fantasy drafts, or when there's slower news, they're talking greats or draft. So it's pretty cool. So, but I've been seeing their A+ fucking videos lately, and their hype videos, and I'm like, dude, we used to be those guys. Like, I remember we used to have sick hype videos and like cool preview videos and cool little teasers and stuff. And I'm like, damn, we have gotten lazy. So I've been seeing them do their work, and I was like, yeah, we got to get back on that. So shout out to them. So that's where I got the idea for that. But Tanner, man, back to the Rockies. Oops,
Go Rockies.
oops. You went to Colorado and got walked off. That's what happened to you boys. You got walked off in the Little League park.
With a
I
bat.
love it though, baby. Let's fucking go. And I don't think it was a home run. I think it was a walk off hit. I don't believe it was that cool, but it was cool enough. So pretty fucking sick. First walk off of the year for them boys.
Good
Um,
for them.
I would say, who is it? Are they not doing too bad right now, or what was the bad team that somewhat wasn't looking bad all of a sudden?
Well, the Rockies have kind of started to get a little better. Oakland has fallen off a fucking cliff, or the Athletics have fallen off a fucking cliff.
Yeah,
Oh, I gotta tell you my fucking random my. So we're gonna have two pirate stats today.
hell
So,
yeah.
so the one I showed you before is that um, Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller lead the National League in quality starts with 11 and 10 respectively, and they're 5 and 15 in those two teams starts, which is just. But even better, ready for fucking randomness, Nick?
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are 10 and 1 on Wednesdays. They are 10 and 48 playing baseball on any other day of the week.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
That is astronomically stupid.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Baseball stats are like borderline autistic, and I love it. By the way, Tanner dropped the F bomb in the fucking in the chat. Look at that, boom!
Whoa.
6 viewers went out the door when that happened. Tanner,
What a
I'm
guy.
gonna fucking block you, dude. Keep it. You guys talk all the shit you want. No
Slurs.
shit. Don't be a fucking bigot in the chat. But anyway, yeah, we know you're a Reds fan. You're acting like one. You Cincinnati fuck. You guys are from Kentucky. Okay, get you a bowl of Skyline chili. Sit back and chill. All right, but let's get into it, boo. Shout out to the Rockies, though. That was pretty cool of them. By the way, Milwaukee up 1-0 on the Cardinals right now. I don't know if the Guardians are playing today, which they probably shouldn't.
I think it's day off for them.
They probably should. Free Kyle Manzardo. If I am so goddamn. Let me tell you, boys. The Guardians. Before we get into like the main shit we want to talk about today, the Guardians. They're not even trying. And Steven Vogt needs to go. I think that honeymoon's over. And I just think that like the lineups that we're putting out there right now are ass. Like, what are we doing? Like, Gabriel Arias needs to go. Why is Kyle Manzardo just sitting on the bench? Daniel Schneemann is sitting on the bench. Like, all these guys, we're just watching. Like, the lineup they put out yesterday, which they won. I can't believe they won that fucking game. But it looked like a AAA lineup, dude. You're just looking at guys like who the hell are these guys? And and if it was like that type of year, then sure, maybe that would be. But like, I don't think the Guardians are in a place where like we need to be finding out what we got, right? I think we're a pretty goddamn good team, and I mean not now. I think we're like 9 games behind the Tigers right now. I want to say 9-ish.
Yep.
And look, that's one of those. We're getting into the territory here of like, sure, you could go on a run, right? Like, you could go win 20 in a row like they did 5-6 years ago. You could have a Cardinals run where they win 10 of 11 in the but we're getting into the territory where that's what you're gonna need, right, at some point. And I know it's still relatively early in the baseball year. We're kind of getting into that fucking, we're voting on the All-Star game now, right? We're doing that. So I think we're kind of playing with fire here. I think if we're that slide, we need to fucking we need to fucking turn that corner a little bit, because 9 games in a division like that, which, again, any of those teams could go get hot. Like, at the same time, the Tigers could just go on a roll, or whatever. 9 games is a pretty fat deficit, and yeah, I just it's not looking good, and it just seems like we're not putting the best lineups out there that we could, and it just seems like Stephen Vogt. It just really feels like, last year we rode the high, right? I mean, I don't even know if you want to call it a high. You get rid of fucking Tito Francona, who, my God, and you get him, but everybody's hoorahing, right? He wins. Didn't he win Manager of the Year? Did Stephen Vogt win Manager of the Year?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yes. I've seen
So,
that.
like, which maybe he doesn't need to go. Maybe I'm just lashing out, but it seems like he doesn't really know what's going on too much. Like, it just doesn't. It seems like he sure, he's an ex-player kind of guy that does the thing, but it seems like when you get down to the X's and O's, and like when it comes down to like a manager versus manager in games, like he's getting the shit kicked out of him all the time. Like, other managers that have been doing this for a long time just run circles around him, just because in certain situations they've got 25 years of experience or whatever, right? And Steve Vogt just, like, it always seems that he leaves a guy in for just one too many batters, right? He just can't tell when it's time to just maybe pull somebody out of the game, or anything like that. And it just it and we just beat the Reds yesterday, I believe, was that in the last game of that series. But before that, since letting Francona go, he was 5-0 against us.
Hmm.
So we had 5-1 finally, but he owns us, right? I mean, it just seems like he knows what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, and it just seems like, So I don't know. I'm not ready to press the red button on the Guardians yet, but 9 games, not looking good. And can we please, for the love of God, can we just? It's like they haven't figured out that it's possible to put Carlos Santana and Kyle Manzardo in the same lineup. You don't have to put Carlos Santana at first base all the time. He's 40.
You can DH him.
Let Manzardo play first. You can DH Carlos. I bet Carlos. Okay, again, I know he probably does. And we actually talked about this recently, actually, where some players, with the Devers thing, right? Not all players want to just be exclusively DH. So maybe he doesn't want to do that. But I mean, be like, look, you'll get a couple days a week or a day a week in the field, right? We'll keep you in the field, do your thing. But like, this whole, like, where we are like choosing between Carlos Santana and Kyle Manzardo every day, it isn't going to work, and I just don't think it's going to work long term. And I really think it's a detriment to the team. And but shout out to Carlos Santana, my boy Carlos. Look, the other day, Josh Naylor hit a walk-off grand slam in Arizona, and it was one of those days where you're sitting there like, like,
Did we make the right move?
why? Like, but then 2 days later, or the next day, even maybe it was a day or two later, Carlos doesn't hit a walk off, but he hits a grand slam, and he's playing very well, right? I mean, he's doing pretty damn well for his age and what we're paying him to do. Like, he's doing fine. So
It'll be interesting to see. It's the pitch. We've had this conversation. It's pitching is your flaw right now. You're not a team that is made for offense. You're made to win 4-3 baseball games. And when your pitching staff is not doing that part of it, you're playing with fire.
yeah, it's fucking brutal. So
like
I don't even know if Emmanuel Clase exists anymore. We don't need him. He just hangs out. I don't think we haven't had to close a game in 2 weeks. It feels like it's like best closer in the game. Motherfucker just hangs out.
yeah, it's either you lose a 1-run game or you win by 6.
Yeah, 1-0. We lost game 2 to Cincinnati.
That's what I figured it was
1-0. I don't know, boys. Doesn't feel good. All right, let's get into it before I start crying. Let's get into what do you want to start with here? Should we start basketball? I guess we could start basketball. That's probably the most.
We didn't talk basketball on the previous show, so we should definitely talk some basketball.
All right, let's talk a little basketball. All right, fellas, let's get into it. Game 3, Indy, OKC. Game 1 in Indy. Split the series in OKC. Game 1 was a OKC led for basically the whole entire game, right? And Indy came back and did what Indy has done this entire postseason run, and that is just fucking do the unthinkable, come back and these crazy double-digit leads, and then they Tyrese Halliburton does what he does, right? He is born for these moments, and I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, I don't care if you hate that motherfucker. Keep it inside. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'd rather you just look at me and be like, I just hate the way he looks. I hate the way he acts. Fuck him, right?
Yeah.
But don't tell me he sucks. Don't tell me he's not made for the ESPN. This is what I'm talking about. We talked about this a couple weeks ago too. All of the and again, if you're new here, sorry, we are literally gonna find a topic and then we're gonna find every little side road you possibly can to travel. So we'll eventually get back to this game. But all of those people, we talked about this, the narrative going into this, right, was, oh man, who wants to watch that, right? Fucking man, what a shitty finals that's gonna be, man. Like and me and you were like, and most of my friends, people were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're getting two of the youngest superstars in the league. You're getting the two teams that play the right way. One's never won anything. One hasn't won one in. Have the Pacers ever won? I want to say no.
I don't think so.
So you're looking at two teams that have never won, right? And they play the right way. They play defense. They play hard, right? It's a great series. It's just two of the best players on planet Earth right now not even in their fucking prime. I mean, I guess SGA is entering his. I mean, they're young guys. So it's a great finals. I mean, it's fresh blood. Yeah, it's everything you want. And I just think that when I was looking at, and then it came out that game one was like the second most watched game like ever or some shit. Like it was like,
Really?
I'm pretty sure I read that like game one of this finals had. Let me see if I can find this.
And I think what makes it that even better is that the Pacers led for 0.3 of a second of that game. Like that's wild.
Incredible.
They literally led for 0.3 of a second, and they won. And then and then game two kind of was what probably everybody expected. There was a Thunder.
Oh no, I was wrong. It was the least watched, so nobody is watching it. But anyway, we won't talk about it. I was wrong. Anyway, you're looking at guys like, it's just an interesting finals. Like I think that this was but the coverage I feel like was the reason this happened. And the Tyrese Halliburton thing, like you turn on ESPN and we're in the finals right now, and they are still after game one, the next morning, the coverage was like the headline on ESPN, the conversation they're having on ESPN First Take was, is Tyrese Halliburton a superstar yet? And again, and Stephen A and them everyone on the board said no. They all said no, he's not a superstar. What do you mean he's not a superstar? He just hit a game win. Like he's hit a game winner in every round of the end. And he went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, took the Pacers back this year, has hit a game winner, absolute killer dagger in every round of the playoffs right now. And then in his very first finals game in his NBA career in Oklahoma City, brings them boys back, and then hits that shot out. I mean, it's ridiculous. So they're to blame, I think, for driving a lot of this hate towards this. And again, like I don't want to hear it. But anyway, game two, right? Game two was pretty much OKC.
Yeah.
I think game two was kind of how we expected the series to go, right?
Yeah, I would generally say like it was kind of like, oh, it's gonna stay close, good. Pacers got one, tap them on the head. Thunder are gonna go beat the shit out of them, and they kind of did. They controlled it, and then game three happened, Nick.
And I'm not gonna lie, game three, I thought for sure, like I was like, I think OKC is gonna do this again. I think OKC is gonna, I think it's gonna be. And out of the gate, like you said, they 32-20. I mean, they won the first quarter, but after that, I mean, third quarter, they actually exchanged quarters. I mean, it was a good game, but the Pacers definitely pulled away. That fourth quarter was a slobber knocker all the way. I mean, they were neck and neck. I was in my sister's softball tournament, and I got my phone in my lap, and I've got the game on, and I'm watching it while I'm watching them, and I've got all these girls playing softball. They're like, "What's the score?" I'm like, "Play softball. Don't worry about me. I'm watching the fucking NBA Finals. Don't worry about me." But it was tied. Like every time I looked at the game, but yeah, fourth quarter, man. The Pacers, they're just. Rick Carlisle is a motherfucker, man.
So underrated.
He can coach his ass off. And I think that's what it is here. You're look, who is this guy for OKC? Obviously he's a good coach, great coach, right? I actually think he just got most underrated, I think is what he was voted in that like players poll that they do, and Tyrese Halliburton was most overrated. But I think this guy got most underrated coach, or like the one that most people would want to play for or something like that.
Nice.
So I don't know much about him, but Rick Carlisle, been around forever. So you're looking at this guy, and it's just he can make adjustments on like I've never seen it almost. I mean, it's like he will fucking. I watched them against the Cavs. Or it was against the Knicks. So after the Cavs, I was watching them play. It was game 2 or 3 of that series. They ran the same play like 3 times in a row. And every single time they ran it, all they did was change what happened off of the pick and roll, off the screen. And all 3 times were wide open bucket. They didn't know what the fuck to do because they're seeing the same exact play they saw 3 plays ago. They didn't stop it the first time, and then they see it coming the second time, and then right when they think what's going to happen off the pick or off the screen, something completely happens. Pascal Siakam, I think, is who it was that dropped off. Was off instead of rolling, he drops back wide open. Next play, same thing. Now they're looking for the first or second play. A third one happens. They're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it's like that's a motherfucker right there.
And it's that's what a really good coach does. He knows how to make and that's the thing. Like you said, all it is instead of rolling off, you're rolling back, and you're gonna get a wide open 18-footer. And you're a professional, you should hit that more times than not, an open shot.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible, and it's a fun series, man. I mean this is really good. I mean we're seeing the stars. I mean SGA, right? He's not maybe getting as many 6 free throw, which again I'm not really on the free throw merchant thing because as we've talked about in the past, there's guys who have shot way more free throws than him, and he's like not even I think it was like top 30 or something. He didn't average, so it's just. He's whatever, but you could tell he's not getting the calls. 9 of 20, right? Shai looked good in game 2. I mean, he drops 24 last night, but you're seeing they're putting the defense of Indiana, right? And OKC is really known for their defense, but the defense of Indiana, man, is, I mean, TJ McConnell, man, he's a pest. He's a fucking pest.
Pascal Siakam won a championship with the Raptors. He gets it. Like you don't have to. Remember,
I don't think anybody thinks about that, and I think that people need to. Like, I don't think people realize that they have a champion.
Yeah, they have somebody that's been through. Do. They had Golden State. Like, obviously, Kevin Durant blew out his ACL and that, but they had Golden State. They were injured, but at their prime. You had prime Seth, prime Clay.
Yeah, no shit.
Prime,
I mean, Pascal's a dog. I mean, that's a guy that.
That's a guy I want to go to war with because I know
Yeah.
he's gonna do everything in his fucking power to drag. He will drag the 15th guy off the bench into that fight.
I will tell you this though, he fucked me last night. The
Yeah.
under 20 points, and then he gets. I'm watching the live scroll. I'm watching it, and I saw 7.7 seconds, and it just said driving layup, and I'm like,
great.
Why?
Like, could you?
And he lost us the bet, but it was like, all right, hold on, before we go any further. Oh, his dumbass is already in here. Look at that. I'm the dumbass. I didn't even have to bring him in. He's the big dog. He can do what he wants.
He's the man.
We all have the power to do whatever we want, Nick.
No, we don't.
Yeah, that is true, but I swore I changed the password. I don't even know how you're here.
Are you even a real person?
Well, I mean, is any AI generated thing an actual person? That's a question for the chat, really.
Oh God, you even acknowledged that you're this person has changed. I don't know who you are.
Dude, he got his knot touched in Ireland. I heard. Most people go kiss the Blarney Stone. He actually got finger popped at the Blarney.
Well, they have those gargoyles that sit on the edges of the castles, and I was like, that would be perfect.
How is Doctor Front Office doing in all seriousness?
We're doing great, Dale. How are you?
Doing good.
Glad to
Doing
hear it.
good.
Glad to hear it.
Where it's been, oh God, when was it? Like,
Dude, it has
2
been
months?
easily something like that.
Because you would have left right after you become a doctor, right? Correct? Like a
Yeah,
week
that's
or
I
so?
think it was like 6 days after that. So, yeah.
Jeez.
Beautiful thing, dude. Here we are, back better than ever.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. How is everything going all right?
Yeah.
Everything is going all right. We were just talking a little. We were about to finish up the Pacers Thunder chat. We were just talking about Game 3 a little bit. Yeah, it's been pretty good. We were talking about how we're going to start getting videos back out there and the way they should be. Just riding the high, dude. We
One
spent about
step
10
at a
minutes just
time.
looking at each other, talking about how we had the same haircut, basically.
Oh,
Look
you
like the
guys
same
do
guy.
rocking the same similar.
Dale's got the fucking Rockies jersey on because the Colorado Rockies had their first walk-off win today. We just talked about that a minute ago. First of
Wow.
the year, boys.
Can I give Front Office my my random baseball stat?
Yes.
please.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are 10-1 on Wednesdays this year. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 10-48 any other day of the week.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Dude, that is wild. That's a wild stat. 10-1
10-1
on Wednesday. And 10-48 every other day of the week.
I gotta pull it. Sorry, I'm gonna go off.
God damn it, Dale. Oh, you went black because he's doing it all on one cell phone.
That was my fault.
You fucked this up, dude. You should have said it like you knew it. You should have been like, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure they're 18-40.
18-40.
Oh, still
crazy.
No,
Still
that's
crazy.
Wild. If you're a stat nerd, and you might be, Nelson's been sending me these weird things like the Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller have 11 quality or 21 quality starts between the two of them. They are 5 and 15 in starts by those two players.
Dude.
Paul Skeens has an ERA under 2 and is being wasted away because we have Tommy Pham and Connor Falefa and like the corpse like this. We haven't had Nick. I could almost go on a Rockies rant.
I was gonna say, not
quite.
yet. We're on basketball. I'm watching people leave the show because we're. It's all right. We had Tanner drop the "got" word in the chat earlier, and 6 people left the minute he typed it. So it is what it is. Yeah, we'll have plenty of soon. All we're gonna have to talk about is baseball stats, and I send you just as many stats. So I need some credit there. Okay, I am autistic with the stats. Thank you very much. I need to be put on that pedestal. Thank you.
And
but
your Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, but that's just her being. That's not a good stat. Okay, I sent you the Scheffler stat. I sent you the I don't know. It is what it is. All right, well let's go back. So Front Office, you got anything you want to say? Because before I want to know if you have anything to say on this game, but I also want to. Before we do anything else after this, the very next thing we're going to do, 6 minutes ago, Nick Chubb posted his goodbye to Cleveland. So
no. Wait, I don't have any tissues in here.
We will be reading it. You can go mute. You can cry for the both of us because I will read it live on air, and we'll try not to cry. How do you think I feel, fucko? I forgot totally. We've done 2 shows now, and I totally forgot the Jim Donovan run is at the end of our goddamn. One's dead, and one plays in Houston. Okay? Twice.
Dead.
And today I was like, I'm going to make a new intro before the show tonight, and then I got so busy at work, and then I as soon as I hit it today, I'm like, I gotta watch the Chubba Lubba Hub. I'm like, dude, he's dead. Nick Chubb is a Houston Texan. So what is life?
Well, now it's like a nice homage. You know what I mean? Now it's a nice tribute.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, if I almost wish Nick Chubb just would have fucking retired at this point. They would have been like, yeah, that was our guy.
dude, seriously.
And now he's gonna have 1,000 yards in Houston, and it's gonna make me sick. By the way, which again, we're gonna go into this. Well, we'll talk more about this, but give me your thoughts on this, and then cook a thought about how crazy it is that Dale's Houston's Texans have a duo of Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb, literally the two best AFC North running backs of the last 10 years, like joining forces in Houston. So first, Pacers Thunder. Second, Nick Chubb.
Okay, I know the Pacers are stunning everybody, and it looks like a runaway. I think we still need to take a deep breath. Okay, OKC has not arrived yet. I mean, they did in game 2. I mean, that was a good win, but
Yeah, they looked really
they're playing
good
a
game
little.
too. But
they're playing a little up and down, is what I'm saying, and we haven't seen that patented consistency that we've seen from them all year. I do expect this. If the Pacers are going to win, it's going to go 7.
I'd agree.
I don't even think that's outlandish to say. Like, I guess at this point, no matter who wins, it's going to go 7, right?
Yeah, probably at this point. Yeah.
I mean, unless literally the Thunder
OKC
just take
fucking
over and win the next 3 games. I mean,
the Pacers.
Either way, if you're the NBA, you have to be happy about this finals. Maybe not the teams that are in it, but boy, you want to talk about a competitive league. I can't think of one person in the whole nation that thought the Indiana Pacers at the beginning of the playoffs were going to be in the finals, let alone looking like they might actually win it.
Up 2-1.
And not just barely up. I mean, this last game, game 3, that was a win. That was a dub. That was a no. You are far enough away from me that you can't touch this. Ran away with it in the 4th, and they've been doing that. I mean, I know Halliburton always hits that game winner, which is just wild that he did one in every round.
So and you're ready to right now. You will call him a superstar, right?
Oh yeah, what? What?
Well, ESPN. I'm telling you, ESPN today. This is why I remember the original one. Today they were saying, so Stephen A. Smith the day after he hit. So First Take, every round so far has had this conversation, but they had it again after he hit the game 1 shot. They said, "Are you ready to call Tyrese Halliburton a superstar?" Every person on First Take said no.
Wow.
Every single person. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
What do you call a superstar, I guess? Like,
what do you need to do to be a superstar, dude?
I mean, that's like a legitimate question. Do you have to be like in the MVP?
The very first time his feet hit an NBA Finals floor, he did that. He didn't wait till game 3 to do what you were just talking about. These fucking shots, right? These cold-blooded shots. First finals game he's ever played in on the road against the best team in basketball, and he just said, "Suck my nuts," and drop and hit it. And you're gonna fucking tell me that he's not a fucking superstar?
I just don't get it. I mean, like,
and he wants to run for president, front office. I almost called you your first name there. I'm so goddamn.
No, you're good, baby.
Stephen A. wants to run for president. And he can't even open his eyes to see that he's a superstar.
If we've learned anything, he is obviously qualified for the office of the president of the United States of America. If we've learned anything in the last
very true.
year.
He might have. Yeah, very fucking
Stephen A. has a chance. That's what I'm saying, dude. Reagan, Trump, Smith.
Oh, dude. Well, if Stephen A. Smith is a president of the United States, dude, that'd be fucking wild.
I'm leaving. Dale, move over, okay? Like, I hope you have like the place next to you is like for sale or like up for rent or some shit.
Land on land. You just need to find us a field that no one lives in. We'll build it.
We will commune together. It'll be fun times.
Fucking compound. We're gonna compound this shit for sure. We're gonna build a
But
moat.
yeah, I mean, so he says Curry, LeBron are superstars. No, dude, Tyrese. Like, I get it. Like, if he was just hitting these shots, but it's the he knows he's gonna hit these shots. He's hitting. He wants the ball. He hit the nut drop on Cleveland. He hits the choke on fucking.
Okay, Tanner. I hear your argument, and I want to ask you: what is or / was Steve Nash ever a superstar?
Ooh, that's a good counter.
Because in my opinion, he was. We can go to Jason Kidd. I don't know if Jason Kidd was quite the same level as Steve Nash, but you have to call Steve Nash a superstar, at least in his time, right?
I agree.
So if he can be one, why can't Tyrese be one?
And not only that, he's not only is he giving you 10 to 15 assists a game, why is he nowhere close to MVP? Well, that's a good
That's
question.
because we have people that are literally outrageous. I mean, he is not MVP of the regular season, which is almost more of an indictment of why he's a superstar. That dude came out in the playoffs and said, "Oh shit, we're here. I need to start balling," and took this league by storm every round.
And I
Every
still
round.
think Jalen, and I think Tyrese Halliburton could be in the conference if SGA can win an MVP. I think Tyrese Halliburton could very well be in a conversation soon. And look, like 2 years ago, if you would have said SGA was going to be beating out Jokic for an MVP, you'd be like, you're fucking joking, right?
Yeah, I
mean,
wouldn't have
there's
said
no
that. Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
way. And I've been an SGA guy forever, and I would have told you, like, yeah, like he does a lot of great things, but you're looking at guys that are 7 foot who are stat padding. I mean, not, they're doing everything in the game, right? Jokic just does it all. So
Yeah.
it's hard for these young guys. But dude, if you're like, if he keeps doing, I mean, I don't know, dude, 20 and he's giving you 10 to 15 assists, and then sure he has his nights where he plays kind of like a facilitator, right? Like he has a Steve Nash kind of
Yeah, but he
stat
hasn't done
line.
that as much in the postseason. I mean, he has really taken over and led this offense. I mean, he might not be the highest scoring player on any given night. I think he only has like 3 or 4 games per series where he actually achieves that. But he is performing at the same, like a higher level than he did in the regular season. And to me, the definition of superstar is when you get to the show and it gets to where it counts. Are you going to hit the shot? Are you going to make the play? And can I count on it? And round 1, I said he can't do it. Round 2, I thought he couldn't do it, and he did. And
Do you
then
remember how happy you were to play?
Yeah, dude, we were excited.
Play them, dude. Remember that?
Yeah, excited.
I couldn't fucking wait to play the Pacers. We didn't even see Game 6. It's disgusting, but they're fucking good. I mean, and that's me and Yiddy have talked about this all playoffs. There's nobody on earth that hates Tyrese Halliburton like Yiddy man. Hates Tyrese Halliburton. Can't stand him all year. Lost the guy money all year because you put money on him, and that's when he decides to have a 9-point game with 44 assists. And you had him for over 15 points, right? And he just But in the third round, we were both texting each other. He was like, "Bro, like, I can't even shit talk anymore." He's like, I said, Yiddy,
No, you can't.
we're giving him power. I said, us hating is fueling him to do this. I said, so we just need to shut the fuck up.
Yep. And
just stop
who's
talking
the second
about it.
best? Okay, Shai's the best player in this finals right now. Who's number 2?
And I'm
It's
sure
an obvious answer.
somebody's going to try to tell me Pascal Siakam. I know it, but
Oh.
it's Tyrese
I
Halliburton.
like Pascal Siakam. I mean, he's good. I like Pascal, but
come on. Get the fuck out of here. And I mean, if you don't want, okay, he's not a global superstar. I would say he's not LeBron, right? Who's got a fucking statue in China somewhere, all right, or Kobe in China, or whatever. But like, dude, he's like, front office.
What do you
said,
call
dude,
a superstar? I mean, to me,
what do you
superstar
call
is
a superstar?
top 10 to 15 player in the league. That's like a superstar. Any team that has a chance to add Tyrese is probably going to add him.
100%. I mean, the guy is like I said, you get games out of Tyrese Halliburton where he is just a straight up point guard, right? Where you get, like I said, you might get 10 points, 11 points, but he's probably got 15 dishes, right? He's taking care of the ball. He can, and sure, he might have 9 points going into the third quarter or the fourth quarter and 15 assists, but he's going to hit when that shot, like his 10th, 11th, and 12th points are going to be the biggest shot of the game.
Yep.
Like it's just, I just,
and he hits it every time.
When the lights turn on and he wants it, right? Like that game 1 again. Well, the Knicks game where, he thought his, foot ends up being on the line. They go to overtime and blah, blah, does the choke. And then this last one, it's like he is screaming for the ball. Like, motherfucker, there is 5 seconds left. Get me the ball. And who was it? I think it might've been you, front office. You and I were talking about this in throughout texting, but it's like, Who the fuck does a step back jumper to win the game with the time expiring in the NBA Finals? Michael Jordan does that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
dude.
that's a
A
Jordan
deep
shot.
two. He took a deep
deep
two to win
two.
that game one. He was like 1 foot or 2 feet in from the 3 line.
He literally got into his range, stepped into that range, and just let it go. And it's fucking money. And not only that, he's telling you he's got the fattest dick afterwards. He's running down the court playing with his big old nuts. You know, he's fucking doing the choke thing, or he's fucking ice cold and everybody looking at everybody on the sideline. I mean, he's not just hitting it. He's like, yeah, I just hit that shit in your face. Fuck
And I knew
you.
I was going to.
And like, of course you hate him, right? Because I mean, I was ready. I mean, I can't even say what I wanted to do to Tyrese Halliburton after he hit that shot in Cleveland. Okay. I can't even say it on
Yeah.
YouTube, but because it hurts. But I mean, you just got to, at some point, right? You just have to step back and go, I don't like the guy. It's fucking, I hate that I have to do this, but he's up 2-1 against the best team in basketball right now in the NBA Finals, and they're doing it.
And the low-key, what I think is the best part of his game is that he is the definition of a two-way player. Just like Kawhi was for all those years, putting work in on the defensive side of the court, really causing havoc. I mean, when's the last time we saw Shai struggle, at all offensively? And I'm not saying he struggled that much, but it hasn't been.
We were talking about before you got here. TJ McConnell. I don't know if you've been watching these games, but like, my God,
he is all over people, dude.
He is
all over people
everywhere,
and all of them are. I mean, if your defensive liability is Pascal Siakam,
yeah,
fuck.
Good problem.
That's a good fucking problem to have.
That's what I'm saying. That's something else.
Dude, I'm with you, dude. I mean, I and like I said, we won't spend the whole show on this because, like, obviously I am just so excited. Like, you weren't here for all the shows leading up to this, but when all the conversation in the world was, oh, what a shitty finals, bro, Dale and I were like, I am so goddamn excited for this. Like, this is such a good finals, and I'm enjoying I love every second of this. So, like,
yeah.
I obviously I'm rooting for OKC. I want to see OKC do it. I've been in OKC. I've been rooting for them alongside Cleveland. I mean, since they got to OKC, they've always been my second team. But I can't, like, when the Pacers are winning these games, I'm not even like upset. It's just good basketball. This is good shit. And if the Pacers go on to win, like, okay, like it's still a fun team to watch. It's a new team to watch. It's yeah. I mean,
yeah, I am interested to see the stream numbers. Like the eyeballs that really got on this finals, because that is the one thing that could be a little testy.
We were just looking at that, and it's not good.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is a finals for basketball purists, I think, or people that are fans of the sport and want to see competition. This isn't, New York versus LA.
It's funny you
say
that.
How bad do you think the NBA was like, please, Knicks? Please.
They were begging for that. Like, I was so... I'm going to use baseball as an example. I was so excited when Texas and Arizona played, where nobody watched it. I watched 5 innings of the Dodgers and Yankees last year, coming from a hardcore baseball fan, because I just did not need to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this says Yahoo Sports says NBA Finals ratings: Pacers Thunder Thriller posts worst Game 1 numbers since league's COVID-19 downturn.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
So Game 1 of the 25 Finals averaged a 4.7 rating and 8.91 million viewers, making it the least watched Game 1 of the Nielsen meter era since 1988. Outside of the league's COVID-19 fueled ratings nadir in 2020 and 2021. So basically, they're 18 and 19% viewership decline from last year's final opener, which is crazy. And again, I will say I really think it has to do. Well, I think part of it is what we're saying, right? It's the basketball. It's more of a purist type of finals, but it's the coverage. I mean, I know that most people, we're in a new age, and ESPN might not be the go-to anymore, but there are still so many people that watch ESPN, and there's so many people that watch First Take, and there's so many people that still use that as like a prime source of information. And when you're watching these guys, win in epic fashion, and we're the week leading up to the finals. You're having the conversation of, is this the worst finals? Is Tyrese Halliburton a superstar? And then he goes on to hit the shot he did, and you're still talking about, are we willing to call him a superstar? Brother, just cover the fucking game. Like, just that you are like, it's like you have a agenda here. You are clearly trying to like get people not to watch. It's like, of course people aren't turning into this because ESPN told me this is going to be the worst finals ever. We're talking about guys, are he even, he's doing incredible things every single night. We're still not ready to call him a superstar. We're pissing on the fire basically. And it's like, what do you expect? What do you expect?
Yeah, that's
You
facts.
guys should be fucking yelling at the top of your lungs. We've got two of the youngest superstars, one who just won an MVP, could be the face of our league, two of the faces of this league, the youngest superstars in our league, going head to head. Neither team's ever won a championship. This is new blood. I mean, it's just, there's so many exciting things here, and I just
Oh
think
yeah,
it's
that's true.
sad
This
that
is like completely new blood, no matter who wins.
completely like it, and that was the best part about the Eastern Conference Finals, because it was uh OKC, and who did OKC beat? Who did OKC beat to get here?
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. So
yeah,
that would have
T-Wolves.
been right. When was the last time Timberwolves have won one, if ever? I don't know if they've ever actually won one. So they've
don't
never
think so.
won one, right? Pacers never won one. OKC never won one. Knicks like 73. So even if the Knicks would have came in and done this, like it sucks, right? Nobody wants to see New York win anything, but you can't be like, oh fuck, the Knicks won again. They haven't won in goddamn 40 years. So it's like you're looking at it was the best four teams. Like as far as like, if you want to see something new happen, like you couldn't ask for anything better. You couldn't.
Yeah. Man.
Hell
And
yeah,
nobody
dude.
saw it coming.
Nobody saw it coming. I know you and I didn't. Well, I know Dale didn't either. Dale had text me last night. He goes, "Remember we thought they were going to be lucky to get to 3 or 6? Wasn't that you and I were talking about that last night?"
It's like I was like, well, I really hope this series goes 6. Like it's like I figured they were gonna steal a game, and maybe they could get a good one and get it to 6. Now it's like, how does this series is going 6, and it's probably going 7, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm all for it, boys. Tanner, my bad that you texted that a minute ago or wrote that a minute ago. I didn't say anything a bit a minute. We're gonna also be better for. We need to start doing more like questions. I'm watching more people's lives, and I know a lot of people are really about like the live question stuff. So we need to get more into that. If we're gonna be a live show, like even today on the post I made, I was like, put your questions and comments in the chat. We'll comment, we'll answer them throughout the show and stuff like that. So we definitely want to encourage that. We need to get better at reading the chat. We need to get better at answering these questions, but and being more timely with it. So, and last show, if you saw, I was trying to bring them up too. So like good questions and stuff that we're answering, I'll bring up and stuff down here. So, but anyway, Kachuk scored. He said ESPN Radio said the Oilers coach tried to pull, and Herb Brooks telling Skinner he'd get benched. Oh yeah, so it's like I said before, they pregame, the backup goalie of the Florida Panthers was skating back and forth, just shuffling his feet at the blue line or the red line at center ice, and he was bent over, shit talking both of the Oiler goalies at the same time.
Damn.
I mean, just savage. So if you guys are, if you want to look at some or see some ass kicking hockey and like some bad blood shit, it's getting chippy. These boys are getting chippy. I mean, they played back to back years. They've played. So last year, we're going to get to Nick Chubb here in a second, but last year, if you guys aren't into hockey and you guys need a little enticement to watch it, this is a rematch for last year, and neither one of these teams before that had won anything in a long time. Florida never, and last year, Florida went up 3-0 in the NHL Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, 3-0. That's a death sentence. Edmonton fought back, tied it 3-3, took it to Game 7, was winning Game 7, and then lost in overtime. I think I'd rather just not even make it at that point, to be honest. I don't know how heartbroken I'd have been if the Blues would have made it to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2019, gone down 3-0. Because at 3-0, you're basically just have accepted it, right? And then your team wins 3 in a row to bring you back, and you're like, oh, we're winning. Because when you're up in Game 7, you're like, this is destiny. There's no way we're losing this fucking game. then they lose. So just Connor McDavid was crying. I mean, it was a heartbreak. It was bad.
You know how much I love Paul Maurice, and like just to his interview afterwards, I've never seen a man that has won a championship be so exhausted because he like literally like he's an honest coach and he's like we were wondering if we were going to be that team to do it to like set the reverse history. Like we were all thinking that Stanley Cup made that trip 4 times from beautiful Edmonton, Alberta, which is 2.5 hours north of me, all the way to fucking Miami.
Could you imagine that, polishing that thing off 3 days in a row, thinking it's going to be one, and then Game 7? I mean,
it is the third longest flight in the NHL.
I mean, that's fucking insane. So if and so you gotta think this year. Obviously, they're back at it, and it's just picking up where it left off. So the chippiness is there. They hate each other. Now you add Brad Marchand to the fucking mix, right? And it's like you put the Rat in the mix, and you get him and Kachuk on the same team. It's filthy. So yeah, it's like, and yeah, Paul Maurice. Another thing, if you're a fan of speeches and cool sports speeches, go watch Paul Maurice's speech because I mean it is he's like, man, he's like, I have been the loser in my family for so long. He's like, I have gotten here so many times and lost and I have felt like a failure. He's like, and I have, and he's not like hyped up. He is just like honestly just like spilling his guts right then and there, and it's worded so well, and he's just such a he's such a calming presence.
Yeah. I know front office is not a hockey guy, but he is a guy that will give, like, if you were to ask him a question, instead of blowing you off, he would take the time, think about it, and eloquently answer it. He does not give canned generic sports answers.
Ever.
Which is
I love that.
It's so refreshing because it's like he'll ask a question, and you think you're just going to get, like, the generic 10, and he'll give you a 3-minute thought process on why we're not trapping because of this and that and it's just like, dude, and he's so well spoken. Like,
yeah, it's watching him take that like 2 seconds after the question to just be like, and then go. It's like, yeah,
that's actually awesome. That's actually awesome.
Go watch a Paul Maurice, especially he had one this year. I don't remember what he did. It was
a really good one this year. Yeah,
I forget what the situation was, but he had a really good one this year. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, definitely go watch his Stanley Cup one. It was fucking incredible. So shout out to Paul Maurice. All right, let's get to Nick Chubb, boys. All right, because this is gonna hurt, and then we've still got 2 more things we want to talk about. We got to have 35 minutes, so let's make this happen. Nick Chubb. We obviously don't need to cover it. We covered it last show, but we didn't get this. So we'll just read the note. We'll get front office. We'll let him speak on it because he didn't get to say much on it. And then we'll move on. But here is Nick Chubb about 30 minutes ago now on his Instagram. It looks like this is what this is from. So I'll read it. All right. 7 years. That's more than just time. It's where I grew roots, found a home, felt a love like nowhere else. Cleveland, you didn't just embrace me, you became family. To every fan who cheered, shouted, believed, you gave me purpose. To this city and with its grit, heart, and unforgettable spirit, you showed me what true community feels like. To my teammates, only we know how hard we fought every day and night. Relentless effort, scratching and clawing, doing all we could to win games, not only for us, but for the city. You guys kept me going every day, and I'll never forget my time with you in the building and on the field. I came here to play football, but I'm leaving with so much more. Memories that'll last a lifetime, friendships that changed me, and pride in calling this place home. I don't even want to read the rest of this.
Dude, I fucking hate Jerome Ford.
I hate Jerome Ford. I hate Mika Fitzpatrick. This never would have happened if it wasn't for Mika Fitzpatrick. You slimy prick. All right. The city deserves a winning season every year. It's earned it. The city doesn't quit. The people never stop believing, and my brothers in that locker room will never stop fighting. Cleveland's time is now, and not because they are owed anything, but because resilience always wins. Not just like we preached every day in meetings. This isn't goodbye to what we built. It's a thank you for the trust, the passion, and the moments that made me feel like I belonged here from day one. Cleveland, you'll always have a piece of my heart until we meet again. Nick Chubb.
Not a boy, Nick.
Son of a dude. This city deserves a winning season every year. Cleveland's time is now, not because they are owed anything, just because, dude, that's so good. That's so good.
That is a class act. That's a dude that didn't want to leave, but circumstances.
$2.5 million. We couldn't give him $2.5 million.
I will let Fred Office speak in one more second. It's like, you give us Nick Chubb for $2.5 million. If it fucking falls apart, it's 75 cents in the can. If we
You got Nick Chubb for pennies.
Exactly. We have Nick Chubb to help develop whatever we have as running backs, and to quote Moneyball, squeeze every last fucking drop out of him.
Oh, I was muted. God, fuck. Okay, I don't know why. I don't know why I was just muted for a second. That was beautiful. One, two. I was repeating how beautiful and how eloquent that was, and how lovely it was. Seriously, but why on earth is Jerome Ford a Cleveland Brown? Is my question. Are you going to tell me that a guy who is his third or fourth year in the league is going to be a better mentor to our two rookie running backs than a guy who has been the bell cow, leading rusher in the NFL, cornerstone of the franchise for the last 10 years? I mean,
I know we both knew it was coming on draft night for the most part, but now that it's happened.
No, we didn't though, because we extended Jerome Ford, and that is really, to me, why we didn't bring back Nick. I think if we don't do that,
pay cut. That's what kills me. I remember, when Jerome Ford decided to take the pay cut. It's like, Jerome, we don't want you to take the pay cut.
God, dude. I mean, seriously, that was beautiful. I mean, as much flavor as you would expect from Nick Chubb. Hardworking man, and God, he's gonna be missed. There is something to be said about getting new blood and trying to change things over and keep moving the franchise along. But when you have a guy like that, who means so much to the city and the team and the players, I just don't get it.
I'm with you. 3 goals in the first period. Got to bench Skinner. Yeah, probably. I'm looking at it right now. Let's look at shots on goal here real quick. Stewart's saves, goals against. So he's let up, goddamn, first period. He's let up 3 goals on 18 shots. 18 shots in one period.
That's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of fucking shots.
That maybe might be the pity pull just for the sake of, that's like the put a fire into somebody's hockey pants.
Yeah, it's almost like not even your fault, right? I mean, it is your fault for letting 3, but you obviously got the defense was not doing assaulted. Yeah.
It's like as soon as they start skating back on defense, they line change. They're like, "You good back there, buddy? We're gonna change. Here they come. Get ready.
Put your glove up.
5-0. That's sad. But anyway, fuck. I want the Edmonton Oilers to win this so bad.
Not good. Oh.
All right. Well, Nick Chubb, the last thing I'll say on Nick Chubb, like I said the other day, it sucks. It never should have happened. Never should have ended this way.
I have a question.
Yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick, you're a piece of shit. And yeah, you guys you're getting a good one. I mean, he looks good. Obviously, I mean, he looks like when he's running, I don't know. Obviously, you can look really good. He looks in shape, obviously, but we'll have to wait and see what he looks like on the field.
So that's also Nick Chubb. I mean, Nick Chubb has never been out of shape a day in his life.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. It hurts me because we posted the clip today. Like I said, I won't admit that Nick Chubb doesn't have it anymore until I 100% am sure he's washed. I have to see it. I know last year he didn't look great coming off the injury, and then he ends on the broken foot. It's not looking good, but I have to see it to believe it. So before we move on, what do you think about really quick about him joining forces with Joe Mixon? I mean, a guy that they've been rivals for the last decade, right? Probably the two best. I mean, you can throw Najee in the conversation, but him and Nick Chubb have been the two best AFC North running backs, and now they're on the same team in Houston.
Yeah, if you're going to put Najee on the list, he is a distant third.
Distant, very distant.
I would even say that Derrick Henry has done more in his short tenure with the Ravens that Najee really did with the Steelers. Joe Mixon, he had a fine year last year. I think, look, you're trying to patch a run game with two players that are probably past their prime. I mean, I'm not even don't even think that's a hot take anymore. And you're hoping that by splitting time with them, this is my assumption of what they're going to do. By splitting time with them, you're going to get the freshest legs possible, and maybe they still have a little bit extra juice in it. Given Chubb's injury history, that would be. I mean, it sucks. I don't want to say this, but it would be surprising if he has a lot to give. That's going to be an impactful player, and maybe you just bring him in on a first and third down, every maybe other drive or something. More of a spell back, like a glorified RB3, because he can catch the ball, even though we didn't have him do that a lot. But his money will be made running between the tackles, and I think the thing that made Nick special is that he was a downhill runner that you eventually broke down the defense time and time again. And I don't know that he's going to be able to do that when he's not getting 20 to 25 carries a game. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. So that's what I was going to ask you. How many? I'm going to ask this to both you guys. Assuming he's healthy for 17 games, how many 100-yard games does Nick Chubb have next year, if any?
2.
Because I do feel like we are going to get a Nick Chubb game next year.
I my gut said 1. I say 2, but I think there's one vintage game for sure, and then I think there's some good games that maybe don't break 100.
Two was going to be my answer as well. Unfortunately, I think the answer is like 2 or 3 or 0
or 0. I mean, because I'm with you. It's either like I the chance it's the 0 is there. It's a possibility, like for sure, like 100%. And like I almost want to say, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I almost want to say 0. But like, yeah, but again, I still believe in Nick Chubb. So yeah, I'll give him 1 or 2 between 2, 1, 2.
And this is with like 3. No injuries or anything, or
this is just assuming that he is there for the whole season, no more injuries. He's
to Joe Mixon too, or maybe that Joe looks so good and like
because Joe looked pretty good last year. So
that's what I mean. Joe had a nice year last year, and I think he's coming in as the 1, and you're using Chubb as a change of pace back,
the B guy for sure. So yeah, I again, and maybe the game script. Like I would assume that there's going to be a game script that here or there that say Houston is blowing somebody out, even what I'm saying, and they're like, all right, let's give Nick Chubb some. Let's just and who knows? Maybe we get to it, and say Nick Chubb looks so good through camp that they do more of a kind of what that we did with him and Jerome Ford, where they swapped drives almost. You know what I'm saying? Like I see you doing that. That was fucked up.
I didn't mean to actually. That was my fault. Sorry, boys.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it all just depends on what's going to happen. Yeah, I would say no more than 3, and I do think there's a chance for 0. So,
right, because what we're saying is like it's either he gets a couple or he doesn't get any, and it's not close.
Right. Yeah, I agree. All right, well we're not moving on far for this next story. We're moving right across. We're actually going into Kentucky for this one. How about the Bengals? Jesus, I almost said the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and their new rookie, who, my God, they can they do anything right? We talked about the start of this situation on Tuesday, and they've already got the Trey Hendrickson thing going on, right? They're already the most poverty fucking run team in the league, right? They fucking handcuffed themselves with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, right? A deals that they both should have got done probably a year or 2 before that. Should have never let it get that point. Trey Hendrickson should already be signed. This shouldn't even be a thing, and he's not. And now you've got him holding out of camp, right? So you go and you draft Shemar Stewart in the first round because you're thinking, like we said on Tuesday, worst case scenario, he's Trey Hendrickson's replacement. Best case scenario, we've now got Trey Hendrickson and Shemar Stewart. We got 2 dogs on the end, and we're in good shape. Well, right now, they don't have either one because not only do they not want to pay Trey Hendrickson, they don't even want to pay Shemar Stewart. So we read his quote on Tuesday where he said he's not asking for anything crazy. He's not asking for anything that first rounders don't ask for all the time. And it seems to him that the Bengals front office is more concerned about winning arguments than they are winning football games. That was his words. That is what he said on Tuesday. I'm not just making that up. He said, I think they are more worried about winning arguments than winning football games. So that has now escalated. He has not. He's just been standing around. I mean, he talked about when they got to OTAs and stuff, like how he hated that he couldn't really strap up. There were pictures of everybody playing, and he's just kind of standing around, because he don't have the rookie deal yet. And obviously, agents nowadays, and especially nowadays, and players, these guys, like even back in the days, they're not getting on the field without a deal, but more so now, they're worried about the brand. They're worried about they're not getting on the field without a deal. They're just not doing it. And today, Shemar Stewart straight up just left camp. He said, all right, fuck this.
Damn, did he really?
I'm done. Yeah, he left. He just straight up and left camp. So they don't have Trey Hendrickson or Shemar Stewart at camp right now. And
you have no starting defensive end.
Well, and it gets better, front office. It gets better. So now they've got people digging into what happens in this situation. What happens? Because most times there's usually a light at the end of the tunnel. This one, you don't know. You don't know. The Bengals, who fucking knows? There is a loophole that if he doesn't sign that contract and doesn't play a single game this year, he re-enters the draft next year. He can re-enter the draft next year and be drafted again. And if he doesn't like where he goes a second time, say he gets drafted, say the Bengals draft him again. He's like, fuck that, I'm not playing there. He then becomes an unrestricted free agent and can sign with whoever he wants.
Wow.
Dude, what? Wait. So this has always been a possibility. And this is only first rounders, or is this any draft
I don't know
pick?
if this is just first rounders, but let me see. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure they're going to.
Because it sounds like it would be any draft pick.
And he cannot play a single snap next year, correct? That's what Nick just said.
I mean, let me see. Shemar Stewart. Let me see if I can find it.
Wow. I wonder how that works with like an injury though. Like, let's say you're a second round draft pick, you get injured in camp, and you never play a snap.
But you would have signed a contract. That's probably the difference, right?
Oh, okay. Fair.
That would be.
Yeah. No, that's a good distinction, Dale. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so here, what the fuck are these?
Being paid. So yeah, wow,
right.
That is wild.
So here it is. So this is Sports Illustrated. After leaving the Bengals mandatory minicamp on Thursday, first-round defensive end Shemar Stewart has some interesting options to consider if he doesn't end up signing his rookie deal with the team anytime soon. According to the collective bargaining agreement, as referred to by Pro Football Talk, the former Texas Aggie star, who is one of 5 first-round picks still unsigned, has the option to sit out for the entire 25 season and re-enter the 2026 NFL draft pool if a deal cannot be agreed upon. At that point, he'd be able to be drafted by any team except Cincinnati.
So he can't even go back to
Cincinnati. Can't even redraft him.
Okay.
Wow.
That makes sense.
So they points out that if Stewart could technically try to return to college for another season after leaving eligibility on the table, though this would require him to take legal action against the NCAA. Right. Stewart told reporters that he's 100% right in his decision to sit out before signing, calling out the Bengals front office. That's what we said the other day.
Yeah, and it wasn't even money, right? It was just the guarantee of money.
I believe that's what it is. It's not. I don't even think it's money. I think it's exactly. I think it's just. That's what I'm saying, and that's what he's. So that's what his quote is saying. He's like, I'm not asking for anything that you've never done before. Like I'm not coming out and saying, I'm not putting Juan Soto things in my I'm just asking
Yeah.
for
And he's not
normal
asking for
shit.
more money. He's just saying, I in case I get injured in year 2 or something, I want to be guaranteed that I get paid some
You want
amount
a
of
little
money.
protection as your 17th overall pick in the draft.
Wow.
This shouldn't be hard. But he
Quarterbacks,
says,
like,
but in y'all case, y'all just want to win arguments more than winning games. I can't say what I really want to say, but it's their contract. They can do with it what they want.
Yeah, he just doesn't have to sign it. Wow.
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 So here's a fascinating. So say he doesn't go back to Texas A&M, which would suck. If you really don't want to be in Cincinnati, that's the card you play, right?
100%. I mean, especially if you left with eligibility, I would assume that he is on the younger side, right? I mean, maybe not. I mean, you see guys fucking.
If he has eligibility, so he left as a junior, so he should have a year left. Now, yeah, he would have to be reinstated by the NCAA.
Oh yeah, he's 22 right now. He was born in 2003.
Yeah, so he's 21. He hasn't even.
Oh,
turned
okay, he's turning
22
22.
yet. Yeah,
okay.
so he still hasn't even turned 22 yet. He turned November 12th. He'll turn.
Yeah, so he is not too old, especially as the
Yeah.
defensive end.
So if he sat out a year and came in as a 22-year-old, or well, he would actually, he would be on the younger side of, well, he'd be like 22 and a half, right? He'd be,
Yeah.
he would be,
Assuming he did go back and play, he doesn't try to sue and get that eligibility year back. I mean,
right. That's
fuck.
crazy. I mean, could you imagine? Only the Bengals, dude.
That's never happened, right? Like, surely this
No,
has not
there's
ever
no way.
occurred.
I can never think of it. Like,
I didn't even hear about this till today.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how long this has been in the collective bargaining. I mean, I don't know if this is like a new thing or.
It's probably just something that's never been done because, like, rookie contracts are you're this position at this pick, you're getting this money, and it's
pretty standard. Like
it's like
you can't get your first round draft pick signed, and you have Trey Hendrickson golfing right now. Bro, they're fucking ridiculous.
It really is just the guaranteed amount, right? Because they can't give him more. Right?
Yeah, I don't think they can just go, well, we're gonna, you want 50 million or whatever, or 60. Like, I think they're, yeah.
So the reasons that he wouldn't get that money are he is cut, right, at some point. Like let's say he didn't, let's say he signed and he didn't get the, get extra guaranteed money. He could get cut, and then obviously he wouldn't be entitled to that money. Or if he gets injured and doesn't play that year, then he wouldn't necessarily, get that contract year money.
Right.
But nobody's cutting a first year draft pick. First round first year draft pick. Like, who the fuck does that?
And a straight up positional need. Like, it's not like they draft, like, if you don't get Trey Henderson back, which he has already said, if you don't pay me, I'm not playing this year. Like, I will sit out this year. Like, you need Shemar Stewart at this point. So, like, what are you going to do?
God.
That is
crazy. So part of me, I mean,
Bengals.
obviously, fuck the Bengals. I hope we see this happen, right? I mean, I hope he gets his money. I hope he does get his money, but I kind of want to see this play out.
Yeah, fuck, I'd like to see it.
Re-enter the draft because he said, fuck Cincinnati.
Okay, so he was a first round talent. Probably, let's just say every team had him as a first round talent. He sits out a year. Where do you take him in
I was going to say,
year?
do you think he drops out of the first round?
Probably. Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. I would not burn my first year on him. A guy who sat out because he didn't get what he wants. Fuck no. But I'm taking him in the third or fourth, dude. You look confused, Dale. Are you? Let's see what you got.
Okay, Fravis, what if you had a first round pick, right? You're picking like 25th. He comes in and you have your meeting and he straight up looks at you. He's like, look, it's the fucking Bengals, sir. He's like, you know how they are. You read the fucking deal. I didn't ask for anything crazy. Like, it's the Bengals, dude. You have to give me this one. Like, what does that change your mind?
If he went back to the NCAA and played, and I had some stats to look at, and I could see him on tape again.
So you would rather
year.
You would rather. So
oh
so
yeah.
That's
oh
yeah.
yeah.
What about you, Dale? Would you rather him sit out a year, or would you rather him be active? Because then we're hoping that he gets through that year healthy. I mean, fucking,
That's
True.
ridiculous.
It's true.
what if he has a bad year, like a down year in his stock draft? I mean, it's one of those things where it might be, I don't know. I mean, business wise, it might be smart not to play, right? But yeah, that's interesting that I would have guessed that you front office would have been like, I don't want him to play a 1 ounce of football. So you would rather
No,
him
I'd
be
rather see, because
healthy,
here's the thing:
or
if he's NFL caliber, he's going right to the top no matter where he's at, especially a
right.
defensive end position. Unless your team has like literal fifth graders out for the rest of the defensive line, the most they can throw at you is two fucking
You're
a
literally
tackle and a
running a
guard.
first round draft pick in the NFL back out into the college.
you know what I mean? Like, if he is that talented, which it seems like he is. I looked at his pedigree and history of years that he had in college, and he seems that good. I'd rather see him play, stay up to date, stay in shape most of all, right? I don't want to see you eating a fucking cheeseburger, putting on weight, losing that speed that you had. Even if you just have a slightly down year than what you just performed at, I would be fine taking you at the top of the
natural
second into the
fall off,
first.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Right? You weren't hyped up. The system was new to you. You know what I mean? Weird living situation. Okay, it's fine. Like, let's say you gave me 80% of the year that got you drafted in the first round. I'll take you in the second, 100%. No worries.
So
and then we'll bitch about the Bengals together. What I mean?
This guy was at an NFL training camp 1 week, and now he's going to be back at Texas A&M.
Back at College
What's
Station.
up, guys? Long time no see.
Hey,
the
guys.
guy that has been waiting for him to leave to take his position, and he shows back up after being drafted in the NFL.
Dude.
Scoot over, fucko. Sorry, bud.
After the portals closed too, and your cock.
After the portals closed, yeah.
Oh, like that's awful.
Just the biggest fuck you, dude.
So, God, this one is really complicated to me because I think front office is right that if you're 17th and you come back and you have another dominant season, you can be a top 10 prospect.
True. Yeah. If you improve, take another step.
Yeah, if you're gambling on yourself. So that's the first. So my thing is, all it takes is one team to believe in you. You could still get first round pick if everybody believes in you. All it takes is a good or a fucking bad organization to believe in you. And man, that is like, it's not quite the Aaron Judge gamble like that he made himself another $180 million. Like, that is not what he's gambling on, but man, it's I get both sides. I totally get why I would sit out and protect yourself and not get hurt. But is he anything more than a late second round pick? Because nobody knows what he's done for a year.
That's what I mean. Like if you don't play, I'm not taking you in the first again off pedigree, because I don't know what you did the whole year. I mean, I guess if you sent me, videos of you working out 8 hours a day, you know what I mean? Like doing drills and shit for 365 days of the year or something.
Every day at 9 a.m., you just get a fucking absolute beast tape. He's like foaming today from the mouth, doing fucking wind sprints and just fucking, he's throwing tires around. You're like, Jesus Christ, sir, I will draft you in the first round. Fine. Yeah, you got it.
I don't know. It's a really, I normally thought I would be on, I think being front office would normally be on the opposite. Like, front office would be like, protect the brand, and I'd be like, go back to college and go prove yourself.
So you don't want him to play, though?
I'm really torn because I don't know what the right answer is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is a right answer.
Yeah, there's not.
I think that I think that for business, I think you don't play. I think if I'm his agent, I'm probably telling him,
no, yeah, you've made your decision.
Yeah, you need to not play. You were just like, I understand, but like, like, don't fuck this up type thing. I think you got to play it safe. But yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about like that, like draft position and like coming back, I mean, like, yeah, I think that it's 50-50.
If he hasn't signed, Could he come up north?
I don't
Or
think
would
he's going to tell you to get fucked, dude. He's probably making more in college off nil than he is in the CFL.
True, but I'm just saying, like, a different way to look at it is you're playing professional. I know you're making $25. Like, I'm gonna watch BC and Winnipeg once they get off here. It'll take a loser.
Keep forgetting the CFL's on.
We also have to. We'll save it for another night, but we have to talk about the rule that put the ball to the 1 yard line because I want.
Yeah, we will. We'll
but
talk about
that's
that
another
on.
night.
We'll talk about that next Tuesday.
Yeah,
that's a good conversation.
Pencil it in.
But it's like he technically could do that if he doesn't sign, and if the NCAA didn't denied his eligibility, he could still go get four or like 3 months of live reps on a weird extra long wide field.
Yeah,
What a crazy time.
Like I said, if I'm one of the other 31 GMs that don't work for the Bengals, assuming he doesn't get fired and go somewhere else, but so I'm one of the other 31 GMs. I want to see him play football again before I'm taking him in the first round again.
I would agree with that. If you're not going to play, you're probably high second at the absolute highest, or like late second, I should say, late second round pick at the highest, and that would be some GM
desperate, need a defensive end,
or just blew their load on how good you were but you just like you're the Eagles or somebody like that. They couldn't get him, but they really loved him. Where it's like, okay, well, we know what we seen a year ago, and we're willing to use our 61st pick on that, or like Buffalo, like somebody like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, well, let's see how this plays out. I mean, I don't think this is going to be the end of it. I mean, we're just getting into camps and stuff, so I think that this is going to get. Yeah. These either going to escalate
when was that deadline?
Or it's not. What?
When was the deadline for him to play or sign? You said July.
Maybe July. I'm not actually sure. I don't know if I said.
I thought maybe you didn't say something. I thought you did for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know when. I would assume he has up until. I mean, I'm sure he can.
Well, he could have up into open. Well, even it would just be prorated. So if he signed in week 5, you would get your rookie contract prorated for the games that you miss. I would assume, but I don't actually know that. Just take an educated guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I got confused. Well, I got sidetracked because I opened Twitter and it just said, Big Christmas has hit 2 home runs for the Clippers tonight, because of course he has, and one of them left the park physically.
Of course it did.
So, yeah, it makes me fucking sick. All right, well, let's get to our last one today. We got a few minutes. We only got a few more minutes left, and we don't have to spend, obviously, a lot of time on this. This isn't like a huge story, but Boogie Cousins, Puerto Rico, baby, dropping them nuts on a fan, which I don't know if anybody saw. I think I saw if you guys actually saw the full thing, but that guy was like throwing drinks at him, I think, from what I understand, and like talking shit. So then he walked over and just shook his big old man dick in his face and his nuts, and then the guy got pissed. And like Dale said, no security wanted to come in, none. They said, 7 Puerto Ricans, and they're like, 7 foot DeMarcus Cousins. They're like, no.
Yeah, fuck no, dude.
No, and he's angry. No,
his teammate was like the fucking security guy trying to stop everything. It was hilarious.
So yeah, they're calling him names, throwing shit at him apparently, and yeah, he just said, "All right, enough of this." And then a brawl happened. So this is what they're saying. 34 years old, and he got his contract terminated for this.
34.
Oh damn! They straight up fucking.
They terminated him, dude. He's like kicked out of the league for this.
Oh wow.
So former NBA All-Star, I was telling Big Park, I said, look, if he's playing with this much tenacity, maybe the Lakers should call him. Because
dude, straight up, you're gonna tell me? Oh my god, Boogie,
Marcus,
Luka, and
we don't need you
LeBron
to score, dude. We just need you not to get out rebounded by bums. Okay, just go out there and be Boogie, please.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's who they need to call, because the guys they had in Jackson Hayes and them, he didn't even play in the who were they playing? Fucking I don't even know. Doesn't matter.
Could not tell you who's.
Couldn't tell you. All right. DeMarcus Cousins suspended for the rest of the season in Puerto Rico's basketball team, and his team terminated his contract after a brawl with fans during a game earlier this week. The 34-year-old, who played for 7 teams during his NBA career, made an obscene gesture, a.k.a. shaking his dick and nuts, exchanged words and grabbed the arm of a fan sitting courtside Monday night before being taken away by his teammates. Like I said, no security. They said absolutely not. No. Cousins received a second technical foul for his actions, was ejected in the tunnel heading to the locker room. He argued with another fan. So they didn't throw liquids at him until then. I guess the other guys just calling him names. He was fined $4,200, aka nothing. He received an additional $5,700, so about 12 grand worth of about 10, 11 grand worth of 10, a little over 10, or is that even 10? That's a little over 10. The Baloncesto Superior he plays for the Baloncesto Superior Nacional League.
I have not
As an
done it.
organization, we strongly condemn any form of violence or provocation, whether on or off the field. They didn't even call it a court. Safety, respect, and sportsmanship are non-negotiable values for this franchise. He played for the Mets. It was Cousins' second season playing in Puerto Rico, averaged 18.2 points per game, 9 rebounds for a team that had a 9-18 record. His previous stint with them in 2023 helped him reach the semifinals. So, what do you guys think about this, huh?
I have never seen a professional athlete disrespect somebody like that. Deservedly so. I mean, look, fuck that guy. Straight up, fuck that guy. But like, I have never seen a professional athlete behave like that. That is, I don't even know if I have a. Does anybody have like a comparison or like a?
I mean, this is like
that reminds me of.
I mean, this is like mouths. I mean, I guess there was a brawl. Like, there's been worse brawls, but yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody straight up shake their dick and nuts at somebody. No, I don't.
Yeah,
think
like
I've ever
like
seen
more
that.
disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and that said, that dude earned it. That dude got what he deserved to get a little boogie dick sweat on his face. You know what I'm saying? But
And brother, he got a lot of boogie dick sweat in his face. Like, I would assume that there was like cast off. Look at him, dude. I don't know why Ice Cube's in this picture, but this guy's giving him the double bird, and he's just got a handful of shit right here. I mean, he is like no cup, nothing, just
damn.
eat it. There was a better picture, and I can't. Well, here. Let's just New York basketball. Fuck it, dude.
And his buddy gets up, starts talking.
Could you imagine what DeMarcus Cousins would do to these guys?
There's not a person that I've seen in that whole shot that would be able to take a full fist from DeMarcus Cousins.
Now, before I take this down one more time, everybody watching, watch the technique on the dick and the watch the shake. Watch the technique. Boom! Like, he got under it and then
Double pump.
I mean, that was a big dude. And then he was like, I don't even need two hands, bro. Fuck you.
Yeah, there wasn't a single person in that whole video that could take a fistful of energy from Boogie Cousins. I mean, seriously,
dude, that's so
not
funny.
security guard.
I sent that
nothing.
to the group chat of Jake and Big Perk's group chat that I'm in with them, and Big Perk's like, "There's no way this is real." I'm like, click on it and read, and then like 10 minutes later, the ESPN story came up, and I'm like, yeah, he did that.
Yeah, you sent it to me, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "Open it, Dale."
The headline, the headline to the story was so good. Let me read the headline of the story. The headline of the story was, DeMarcus Cousins is suspended for the remainder of. This is Complex Magazine too. DeMarcus Cousins is suspended for the remainder of the season after scratching his balls and making a heckler sniff his hands.
That's what you sent me, and I'm like, "What?"
Oh God, I love it. Like, it's such a DeMarcus Cousins thing to do.
Yeah. Like,
And I love DeMarcus Cousins. One of my favorite things I've ever seen in my lifetime of basketball, and it was so short-lived, was him and Anthony Davis in New Orleans. Those guys were unstoppable when they were on the court. And if he didn't get hurt in the playoffs, those guys didn't get hurt in the playoffs that one year. They were both averaging like 20 a game. Like, that was the Twin Towers, dude. They were scary.
Big one.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they were.
God, that's a big what if. You're right. All right, boys. Edmonton just scored, by the way, and they're on the power play. So 3-1, 13 minutes left in the second period. They did pull Stuart Skinner after the first period. So Calvin Pickard is in now,
Oh, there's a block.
who actually doesn't have a bad. He's like 7-1 in the playoffs or something, or 7-1, or I don't know. So he's not bad. So that is good. But anyway, you guys got anything else you guys want to chitty chat about before we get out of here? Front office, welcome back, dude. This has been glorious, dude.
Dude,
Just
good
hear
good to be
your
back,
voice.
fellas. I know you've already talked about it. I'm just going to give my one sentence take on it, and Nick already
Okay.
knows what it's about. Shedeur Sanders is the QB1 of this Cleveland Browns football
We
team.
didn't even get to Shedeur Sanders today.
Well, let's not do it.
God.
Let's just, you can agree with me and we can move on and say he is QB1, and I don't want to hear any other fucking comments about it.
Should I tell front office the crazy bet that we did on stream?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, please do.
Nick kind of and Dale loves value. I have Shedeur Sanders to take the first snap of the first regular season game at 5-1.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
we've
dude,
already put
wait.
money on it.
I have legit money on this.
Yeah,
So
good.
I'm
No,
invested.
good.
I was
Good.
like,
I'm with you, and this is a conversation we do have to have on Tuesday. We will have this conversation on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah, for
'cause
sure.
I-
We got time for this one.
we got time for, and like I really wanted to get into this day because like it's question. I'm so confused on what's going on. I mean, he has not taken 11 on 11 reps yet, and I don't understand it. Like Dylan Gabriel's been, but I don't know. I like I said, the conversation I want to have is like, what do we take from this? Because like I don't know if but every time I see him handing the ball, he's handing it off to like Quinshad Judkins. Like he's handing it off to guys that are going to play. So I don't know if like they're just giving him the 7-on-7 because Dylan Gabriel is the number one guy every day so far. He's gotten the first reps with everybody, and then it's Kenny Pickett. So it's like, are they doing this to try to like see who, maybe to show off these guys because they're going to have to move one of them, and or are these guys they believe in, or I'm just kind of confused on this because Shedeur Sanders has only taken 7-on-7 reps, and in my heart of hearts I know that there's no way the Browns would fuck this up and just were like that's the guy they're going to let go. But like I also in the back I can't tell myself in my mind the Browns are 100% not going to fuck this up. So like I can just somewhat in my mind I can see like us letting him go and us be like, well, he was really good. He did everything we asked him for. He stays late. He's going to be great in this league, for somebody, that whole thing. And then he goes on and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Dylan Gabriel sucks. So like there is that chances that aren't zero, and we'll get into that on Tuesday. And hopefully he's still a Brown by 2. I just don't like this. I don't like this. It's weird. Like, can we get the guy some 11-on-11 reps, please? Because we see what you and I see what he's doing on 7-7 darts.
Dude,
Darts.
I had stats for this that we'll revisit on Tuesday when they're even further updated. But it's not close.
Not close.
He has like a 77% completion percentage. I mean, I know this is camp, and it doesn't fucking matter. But
it's on course because, remember, he has the highest completion percentage in NCAA history. He had the most.
Who we thought we drafted.
Right. So Tuesday, we are going to spend a lot of time on Shedeur Sanders for sure because I really want to get into that. And once you said his name, I'm like, God damn, I wish I had shut the fuck up about something else. But we'll get to him. We got time. So
I figured you guys
Shedeur, we're rooting for you here, baby. Derelict Sports, we got your fucking back, baby. That's who we got. And that's the only guy we got. Maybe Pickett can hang out for a little bit, but I don't want to see Flag. I don't want to see Dylan Gabriel. So I don't want to see it. All right, fellas. You guys want to add anything before we head out of here? We good?
it's been fucking great to have the band back together again.
Yes, it
really
is,
has.
dude. It's hopefully
Couldn't agree more.
you're back. You're back on Tuesday.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
back,
I should
to go?
be. Should be.
All right, hell yeah.
Even the Hay kid was like, "You haven't talked about the front office in a while." He's like, he hates us.
Yeah,
No,
he
no,
became
no.
doctor and fucking forgot all. He deleted.
I
our
fucked
contact.
off.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm a doctor."
He joined the Trump administration, and that was the last I ever heard from him.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Got rid of Trudeau up here. Well, we still have the Liberals.
I saw front office driving an ice van around.
Cybertruck. That's what I drive now. I drive a Cybertruck.
Not a boy. Fucking doctor.
When I was in San Francisco, big, obviously Elon and Tesla is big there from back there, but every Tesla plant just got like spray paint all over it, and I loved it. So Fucking
Dude, it is beautiful to watch. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we told you. That's all we'll say. We'll
Yep.
leave you on that. We told you. But all right, guys. You guys have a great fucking Thursday. Tanner, Sports Lab, Maple Towns, everybody who stopped by today, really appreciate you guys. Great time tonight. Like I said, we'll be back on Tuesday, same time, same place, YouTube and X. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 p.m. Love this shit. And this is a foreseeable future. So Tuesday, Thursday, foreseeable future. We'll have a lot of shit to talk about after the weekend. Enjoy Game 4 and maybe even Game 5 of the. We're going to miss probably two basketball games. So we'll have a lot to talk about next weekend. And Shedeur Sanders. So we really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for all your support. Make sure you guys hit that, scan that QR code. Follow us on all of our socials. If you're on YouTube, please hit that like button. Just like the video. It really helps us. Really helps us get thrown in the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell so you get notified. If you're on X, make sure you follow us on the channel or on the page. Share the stream. Hop in the comments. We're always talking shit on Twitter. So we really appreciate you guys. Scan that QR code. Follow us everywhere. Action Network. We got bets 3 to 5 every single day. Not today. We'll be back on that tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Thanks for watching Derelict Sports. Appreciate you guys. See you soon.
Trucking intellect, got change in my pocket, $1.50 half-ass. Let it go, let it die, let 'em know how you tried. Show me at the bottom with the morning sun.